Now, when it says let no corrupt communication proceed out of thy mouth, that means God don't want you talking about the old man. He don't want you to have that old spirit of you. He don't want you looking back, reminiscing on how that club felt, or how the strip club felt, how it felt when you was throwing money in the club. He don't want to know, hear about that. He don't want that to proceed out your mouth. If you talking down upon a brother, he don't even want to hear that either. He doesn't take it lightly. Keep going.
Verse 30, and grieve not the Holy Spirit of the Most High.
Now, it's grievous unto the Most High when you talking about evil communication. It grieves him dearly. He can hear it. The angels can hear it. They record it. Now, from there, let me get Proverbs 15:1.
Proverbs, you said 15.
Come on.
15, verse 1 from the top. A soft answer turn away wrath.
Now, when it's talking about a soft answer, it's not talking about speaking like Michael Jackson. Oh, no, not today. No, it's talking about, like, if a brother have a question, don't just dismiss him or cut him up real quick. Just be like, brother, let me get back to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a situation. Let me get back to you. If you ain't properly equipped to handle a conversation with a brother, don't just dismiss him and cut him off. He's saying a soft answer. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
But grievous words stir up anger.
When it's talking about grievous words, it's talking about like you just dashing brothers. You saying, oh nigga, forget about you. Oh nigga, you stupid. Oh nigga, are you slow? Stuff like that. It stirs up strife. It makes you want to have a nigga moment. Everybody have a nigga moment. Like when somebody step on your shoes in the club, you want to have a nigga moment. You want to get your gat. You want to go to the trunk. Nah, nigga, go to these scriptures. Instead of pulling a strap on your brother, pull out a scripture on your brother and teach him this knowledge and his word.
That's a fact. Let me read verse 2. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge, all right, but the mouth of a fool pour out foolishness. Just going into just to piggyback on what my brother says, it's a beautiful thing. You know, you never think to do that. Like when you having issues, let's go into the scriptures, right?
Exactly.
We always go according to our own mind. We go how we feel, and a man that fears the Lord is gonna go to the scriptures, man. Like, you know, all right, because you know when it's two lions is born, you know, only thing that can happen is, you know, bloodshed. It's gonna end up in bloodshed. So let's humble ourselves and let's go to the scriptures and let that be the judge. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that a lot of times, and we gotta learn how to lower and keep humbleness. You know what I'm saying? Lower our pride to make sure that we keeping it diligent according to the scriptures and not according to our own ways. Because once we go into man and we start seeing it from man's eyes, we lost. And that's when Satan takes over.
From there, we're going to get James chapter 3 and go to verse 2. Now, we know we're going to have skirmishes. We know we're going to have skirmishes in the truth, but read this.
James chapter 3, verse 2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
When it means to bridle, that means to obtain, to hold on to your whole body. Because when you offend, if you offend not in the word, the same is perfect. Because the goal is to offend less. The goal is to lead these sheeps to Yahweh Shai, to these scriptures. If you are walking around offending people, they're not gonna want to hear you. They're not want to know what you're talking about. They're not gonna want to know the truth. They're gonna be like, oh, forget about you, nigga. Like I don't want to hear none of that no more. Once you offend a man.
And can I touch on that real quick? See, this is a cold precept right here. This is cold because it says, for in many things we offend all. There's a lot of offenses. You can have a brother offend you on accident. He didn't even know you didn't like to put your cup of tea on the counter. And he put your cup of tea on the counter. He offended you. You know, or you got a sister that might have came in your house and walked on your carpet with her shoes on, right? She didn't know, but she offended you. Or a brother probably came off in a chippy manner, but he didn't know, but he offended you, right? There's many offenses, many ways we can offend. But this one right here, it says, if any man offend not in word, though. See, because when you offend in word, and then that man is perfect, right? Because when you offend in word, it's different. Gossiping, backbiting, tale-bearing, because you're literally purposely spewing out the evils of your heart. You understand? Whereas it's a little bit easier to stomach somebody offending you when they didn't know.
Facts.
Than you going behind somebody back and offending in word. Or, you know what I'm saying, you speaking ill will about a person. That precept is deep. So basically what this verse is saying, it's like my brother brought out, man, if a man offend not in word, you understand, then that man is a perfect man indeed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's many ways we can offend, but offending in word is a way that it can literally destroy whole congregations. It can destroy brotherhoods and all of that. You know, that's a cold precept.
From there, we're going to drop down to verse 5.
Verse 5. Even so, the tongue is a little member.
Now, even though the tongue is a little member, like you got to think about a midget. Even though they little, they talk big. Like when you seen Austin Powers, Austin Powers, when you had the little midget and the fat bastard, they was talking big. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
And boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
Now, this tongue, even though it quenches, it can also quench spiritual flames. You feel me? It's like a viper. It's like spiritual darts. It's a fiery serpent and attacks and then attacks. Keep going.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell.
Now this it's life and death within our tongue. It's a spirit within words. When you say let there be light, it's a spirit within there. Instead of bringing forth dark energy, dark matter between you and a brother, bring forth positive energy, positive of notions. You feel me? So he can so you can win a brother over.
Mm-hmm.
Now from there,
Keep reading. You gotta keep going.
Okay, I'll read verse 6 again. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body and setteth on fire the course of nature.
I don't think they understand that, bro. It said a world of iniquity. A tongue out of all the members is its own separate world, and it can cause all type of issues. You see what I'm saying? You're not understanding the tongue is the most powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? Because before you say whatever you saying, you think it first. So it's coming from your mind. It's in your heart, right? Read verse 7.
Verse 7. For every kind of beast and of bird and of serpents and of things in the sea is tamed and has been tamed of mankind.
But watch this.
But the tongue can no man tame.
Can what?
No man tame.
Read.
It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poisons.
This is what my brother was talking about. Them spiritual fiery darts, man. He said, the Lord said, look, you got lions we can bear, you know what I'm saying, and tame. Elephants, bears, you know what I'm saying, all type of big animals, you know what I'm saying, hippopotamus and all that, right? But you cannot tame the smallest member in your body, the tongue, because it's light and depth in the tongue, man. That's why you got to be careful on what you say, man. You really, really got to be careful before you say something, man, and get all that wickedness out of your heart, because it started up here. Once it come up here, man, it's going to spew it out. We're going to see it. We're going to see it all day. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see it all day. You're going to see it in brothers' teachings. You're going to see it in their movements. You're going to see it in how they walking. You're going to see how they talking. You're going to see it in the communication in the company they keep around. That's why the Lord said you got to get that poison out, man, because that can literally burn down a whole church.
Yep. It can kill your marriage. It can kill your relationships, your friendships. It can burn down a church. It's very, the tongue is a deep situation, because the tongue, it shows forth. I mean, when we're looking at it in a physical way, right? You know, we got a tongue, a physical tongue that's used to speak, but you're speaking spiritual words, because words are spiritual.
Facts.
They go out into the air, and then they go into your body, into your heart. So if I tell my brother, man, I love you, he's gonna feel that. Like, dang, he really love you. You're gonna feel that inside. If I tell a brother, man, I hate you, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that inside your heart. And what's going to happen, that seed is planted. And when a seed is planted inside of your heart, which is your mind, it starts to grow. And you start thinking these other things. Oh, yeah, this brother do hate me. That's why he did that. That's why he did this. That's why he did that. That's why he did. Now, guess what? Now you hate your brother because of the seed that planted from that brother because he said he hated you.
Yeah.
Or with love, vice versa.
Powerful. So like, yeah, you can go to the next week.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Man, the tongue is so powerful. Even David had to say something about it. We're going to go to Psalms chapter 141 and verse 3.
Yeah. 141?
Yeah, verse 3.
Verse 3, set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the doors of my lips.
He's saying, keep the doors of my lips, keep the doors of my mind from slipping, from falling into the pitfalls. Keep going.
Incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity. And let me not eat of their dainties. Let the righteous smite me. It shall be a kindness.
When it's talking about let the righteous smite me, it's like he's saying let the righteous correct me instead of the enemies, instead of evildoers. Don't let them correct me because they don't have mercy. But let the righteous smite me. Keep going.
And let him reprove me.
Let him correct me again.
It should be an excellent oil.
When it's talking about oil, it should be excellent knowledge. It should be excellent nourishment to the spirit.
Which shall not break my head.
Because it's not going to kill you. If a wise, righteous man correct you, it's not going to kill you. It's just only going to make you stronger. Keep going.
For yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities.
And then when they going through something, I'm going to pray for them in their calamities, in their turmoils, when they going through troubles. Keep going.
When their judges are overthrown in stony places.
It's like when your elders is overthrown in like a hard place. That's what it's talking about.
They shall hear my words, for they are sweet.
But they're going to remember these words of that wise man that corrected them. And it's going to be sweet to them. It's going to be honey. Keep going.
Our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth.
Now, when it's talking about our bones are scattered at the grave's mouth, that means death, it scatters us. The tongue scatters us. Wicked scatters us. Iniquity scatters us. That's why we were sold to our enemies, because we were scattered. Keep going.
As when one cutteth and cleaveth wood upon the earth.
That means when you gather up wood and put it into one place, it makes fire. That's what it's talking about. Keep going.
But my eyes are unto thee, O God, the Lord. In thee my trust. Leave not my soul destitute.
He said, do not destroy my soul. Keep going.
Keep me from the snares,
traps, which are traps,
which they have laid for me, and the gins of works of iniquity.
When they talk about gins of works, that means a gin is a land trap. You know how like you have a bear trap, you have like the trap house. All these things are traps. You have Planned Parenthood, which also is a trap. You have liquor stores on every corner, it's also a trap. You got prescription psychedelic drugs, is also a trap because it breaks down your ego. You no longer know who you are anymore. Keep going.
Verse 10, let the wicked fall into their own nets.
Now it's saying, let the wicked man, the one that set these traps upon our souls and upon our hearts, let them fall for their own traps. Because now the same thing that the white man had used to kill us is the same thing that's killing them. Keep going.
With that, I withal escape.
So I can escape. So I can escape and serve you. That's what it's talking about. Now from there, let's go to Psalms chapter 34 and verse 13.
Psalms chapter 34, verse 14.
13.
Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile.
When it's talking about keep thy tongue, is keeping our minds from speaking deceit upon your brother, your sister. God don't even want you talking about his animals. Keep going.
Verse 14, depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it.
God says depart from evil, because to depart from evil is to hate iniquity. It's to love righteousness at the same time. Keep going.
The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and the ears are open unto they cry.
When it's talking about the eyes of the Lord, it's talking about the angels. Because we know the eyes of the Lord is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. When you think about it, the souls of the angels is made out of that same fire, because Yahweh is a consuming fire. So only fire can breed fire. You feel me? So now that's what it's talking about. Keep going.
The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the members of them from the earth.
Now let's talk about the face of the Lord. Like when you think about the coronavirus right now, his face is upon this wicked land. His face is upon the ones that's not taking heed to these law, statutes, and commandments. His face is against those who's just slapping them in his face, disrespecting them every day. Talk about there is no God. That matter of fact, let's get Romans chapter 1 and 20, because there is a God.
Romans chapter 1 verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen.
It's clearly seen that there is a God. If the sun was a little bit closer, it would burn us up. If the sun was a little bit far back, it would make us cold. We wouldn't have a good temperature. Keep going.
Being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
It's no excuses. You can't say that there's not a God. You have to think about the animals, for instance. When you think about man and you think about the beast, God created everything the same way. You got to think about R&B singers. Males sing to women to get their attention. And you got to think about the cricket. Only male crickets sing at night to get the female's attention. You can't say that there is not no God. That's not a coincidence, or things that out of the ordinary. That stuff was designed. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Now from there, we're going to get, we're going to drop that and get Proverbs. Actually, let's get James chapter 1 and 26.
You got it up?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
James chapter 1 verse 26. If any man be among you seem to be religious.
Now, if you be amongst your brother and your sister, and you think to have a practice, this is what God wants you to do.
And bridleth, not his tongue.
And if you cannot keep your tongue, if you can't restrain your tongue, restrain your mind, restrain yourself, this is what God is saying.
But deceive his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
Your religion is for nothing if you can't hold your tongue. Your religion is for nothing. Everything you're doing is in vain. It has no power. You know what I'm saying? Now from there, we're going to drop that and get Proverbs 17 in chapter 28.
Proverbs chapter 17 verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
Even when a fool don't even know too much of nothing, he don't even have no wisdom, but when he hold his tongue, he seems to be wise, because a wise man don't say nothing at all. That's like gangster moving in silence. You ain't got to tell your left hand what your right hand's doing. If I'm going to slap you with my left hand on your right eye, I'm not going to tell you about it. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So keep going.
And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
Now, if you shut up your lips, because it's power in silence, you got to think about Yahweh. It's power in his silence, but his action is just so loud. You can't deny it. You don't see him talking all the time. You see him doing some action all the time. If you want to tap that ass, that's what he going to do. He going to tap that ass, but he ain't going to tell you about it. You going to get a car wash one day. You going to think you're having a good day. A bird going, you know what I'm saying, shit on your car. You might have a good day. You might get a phone call. You get fired. You feel me? These are things, this is how Yahweh moves. Now from there, let's get 1 Peter 3 and 10.
You got it out.
Verse 10. For he that will love, Salakia, from the top. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil.
Now, if you love life, like we all should do, you would keep your tongue from speaking evil, seeing evil, hearing evil. Keep going.
and his lips that they speak no guile.
No lies. Stop speaking lies. Stop giving false reports about your brother. Stop bringing him down. Bring him up. The only time we look down upon a brother is to pull him up. If he's in the fire, we gonna pull him up. We gonna be his crutches. We ain't gotta talk down upon the brother just because we don't see eye to eye. You feel me? If we ain't seeing eye to eye, we ain't gotta be cross-eyed and try to cross each other at the same time. We don't have to do that. We gonna get Sirach chapter 6. A lot of people think that you a big shot if you're talking down upon your brother. You're not big. You're not tough. God don't even think you tough. God is not with you if you're talking about your brother. Because Paul said it the best. Love think of no evil. If you hate the brother that you can't see, the love of the Father is not in you. It's not in you. You can deceive yourself all the time. Yeah, I got the Spirit of God. I got the Spirit of God. No, you got the spirit of Allah, the deceiving God. That's what you got the power of. Now we're going to get Sirach chapter 6. Verse 1.
Shall a friend become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that have a double tongue.
Now God said, instead of a friend, be not an enemy. You don't have to be an enemy just because you don't like somebody. You don't even have to be a frenemy. Just be neutral. If you have a problem with a brother, go talk to him. If you ain't talking with me, don't talk against me. If you ain't for me, don't be against me either. You feel me? Because then you would develop an ill name. You will develop shame. From there, give me Sirach chapter 4 and verse 25.
Sirach chapter 4, verse 25. In no wise speak against the truth.
Don't speak against the truth. Don't speak against another's word. Don't speak against another's actions. Don't speak against his word, because he only moving in righteousness. You can't be mad at a brother for wanting to do the works of the Lord. Don't speak against his truth. This is his truth. Keep going.
But be abashed of the error of thy ignorance.
It says be ashamed of your ignorance, because you bringing that brother down. You not helping him up. You want to bash him. You want to have milk and cookies. You want to have tea sections talking about another brother. Instead of having them on a phone conversation, oh brother, this is what you should work on. This is what you should do. You're not a brother at the end of the day if you're doing those things.
Let me get a precept.
Come on.
Give me this, Roger. Ecclesiastes 19:6. I'm going to read down. Sirach chapter 19, verse 6.
Sirach chapter 19, verse 6. He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife.
Very, very straightforward, right? Nothing to interpret. We don't got to break nothing down, right? The Lord said if you can control your tongue, you're going to have a pretty peaceful life, right? Read.
And he that hateth babbling shall have less evil.
What is babbling? Backbiting, double crossing, you know what I mean? Somebody always gossiping, talking down on somebody. If you hate that, you're going to have less evil, because you're not going to have situations where people trying to take you down and want to kill you. You know what I'm saying? If you hate that, hey, bro, I ain't trying to hear that, bro. Go somewhere else. I'm cool on it. I don't want to hear that, man. Not in this house, right? If you one of those type of brothers, you're going to have a peaceful life, according to the scriptures, right? Watch this.
Verse 7. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee, and thou shalt fare never the worse.
Watch this. Why?
Whether it be to friend or foe.
Whether it's your friend or your enemy, read.
Talk not of other men's lives.
Don't be talking about another man's life. Oh, he around here, he got kids he can't take care of. Ooh, man, don't be doing that, man. Israel got to stop that madness, man. We airing out our brothers, man. You got to stop that, man. Thus said the Lord, not me. Right? Watch this.
And if thou cannot without offense reveal them not.
If you cannot reveal this information without offending the brother, the Lord said don't say nothing, man. Be quiet. Right? If you can offend, if you cannot deliver this information without offending, don't say a damn thing. Thus said the Lord. Watch this. Read.
For he heard and observed thee, and when time cometh, he will hate thee.
Damn, I thought you was talking about me behind my back. I thought we was better than my nigga.
Right,
damn, bro. Not you. Yeah. I can't even fix it now. I thought that was my, if anybody, I thought that was my bro. Yeah, right? Watch this. Read.
For he heard and observed thee, and when time cometh, he will hate thee. If thou have heard a word, let it die with thee, and be bold. It will be brush thee.
Absolutely.
Not brush thee, excuse me.
The Lord said, man, take it to the grave, man. If it's something that can ruin this, man, you know what I'm saying? If some information that can ruin this, man, man, take it to the grave to you.
That's real.
That's the Lord said, take it to the grave.
Verse, where was that? Verse 9.
Mm-hmm. Read it again.
For he heard and observed. No. I'm going to start at verse 8.
Mm.
Whether it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives, and if thou canst without offense reveal them not. For he heard and observed thee, and when time cometh, he will hate thee. See, that's cold, because that's something that brothers go through a lot. I've been through that.
Mm.
You know, where you want to reveal something to a brother, rightfully so. Reveal that to that brother. But if you can't reveal it without offense, don't do it.
I don't do it.
Because that brother gonna hate you. And when that brother hates you, he gonna cause a lot of other people to hate you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's from personal experience. You know, personal experience is when in times I should have used wisdom and not correcting certain people in certain times.
That's a fact.
But I did anyway, you know, and I didn't do it without and then guess what? Now it's this whole scenario, and now, you know, so the Most High is giving wisdom of you got to be careful to not offend, because you can offend with your tongue on accident. You can offend with your tongue, like not purposely trying to hurt somebody, but you can hurt somebody on accident and become an enemy of that person.
That's a fact.
That's wisdom right there. So
That's
sometimes
wisdom.
it's not always right. You can't always apply Matthew 18 sometimes.
You got to know when to do it.
You got to know how to apply Matthew. I know, Matthew 18. Matthew 18. Matthew. Sometimes you got to be careful, because Matthew 18 can cause this. You know? So it's wisdom. Everything is done by case.
Yeah, it's a case-by-case situation.
Case-by-case situation. You got to do it by case. But I'm going to say this. Judith, she taught us how we can bring up something without offense, man. If brothers is in this situation or whatever, and you like, well, I don't know, maybe this might fit some brothers out there. Well, I don't know if I should reveal this information to this individual. It's an offense to me, but if I bring it up to this brother, he might be offended. And I ain't trying to cause a double offense. And I ain't want to. So what do? Invite that brother to your house and cook dinner for him. That's what Judith did for the men of the city. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You can learn from those stories, right? Take a brother out to dinner. You know, say, hey, look, man, let's sit down, let's eat and let's talk. You know what I'm saying? What happened, man? You know, this blah, 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 blah. Boom, you tell me blah, blah, blah. We eating. You know, when brothers eat food and they got a little drink, they cool. You know, get a little drink, eat you some little food. And so it's all in wisdom of how you apply. But that was a cold precept, though, man. You got to know how to even deliver offense to a brother.
That's a fact.
And if you can't, hold it.
The Lord said take it to death, man.
Yeah,
don't say
that's
nothing,
real.
bro.
That's real.
Yeah,
that's real. Go ahead.
Calm, man. Calm. Good edification. From there, let's get Proverbs 16. We're going to get verse 17.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 17, from the top. The highways of the upright is...
Now, when it's talking about the highways, it's talking about the road. It's like the road to redemption. Keep going.
The highways of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul.
This is the only way you can preserve and keep your soul, to keep your spot, is by going through righteousness, being upright. Don't be a backbiter. Don't be a southern. Don't be disingenuous. Don't be a snake. Be your brother's keeper. Be your sister's keeper.
Right.
Keep going.
Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before it fall.
Now, it's okay to have self-confidence, but when you overindulge in one's self, one's ability, one's intelligence, intellect, that's prideful. That's destruction right there. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody think that just because a so-called black man have confidence, he's prideful. No, I'm only proud about the God that's in me, his works, doing his works. God is making me proud to be an Israelite. That's what I'm proud of. That's where my confidence come from. Every time a black man identified himself with being a god, everybody want to bash him. Everybody want to say, oh, he's prideful. Everybody want to say, oh, this nigga's unruly. He's a bumperclot man. Nah, we just proud of the fact that we're Israelites and God is working with us. From there, give me the same chapter 17 and go to 17.
Proverbs 17 and 17. A friend loveth at all times.
Sometimes.
At all times.
A friend will love all the time. A friend will correct you. A friend will help you out when you in need. If you a little bit behind rent, a friend will be there for you. When you have skirmishes, when a congregation is talking bad about you, a friend will always be there. But at the end of the day, God is that friend that's gonna always be there. You ain't gotta look to your right and look to your left. You gotta look up and look at what from within, because God is in you. Keep going.
And a brother is born for adversity.
A brother is born for that heat. He's born for that fire with you.
That's similar to me and your relationship, and especially me and this brother relationship, man.
God.
Me and this brother, we'll get in the scriptures and be going at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, now I see how, going back and forth. And we understand, like, a brother's born for adversity. That's what your brother is for. Look, brothers, this is a beautiful lesson. Your brother does not always have to agree with you. It doesn't mean that he's not your brother and he's your enemy. Remember, we're all men. And this Most High has given us all our own spirits and our own rulership. This man runs his house differently than I run my house. This man runs his house differently than he runs. We're all different. I might say, hey, I don't run my house like that. But he might be like, shit, I run my house like that. No one's right or wrong in that. I might see something this way. He might see something that way. But we're still brothers. That's why the scriptures say a brother is born for adversity. Brothers are for this because it keeps us all together. Because, put it like this. When you have a person and you have a brotherhood, but in that brotherhood, you just have one brother that just makes all the decisions and controls everything, right? That's not really a brotherhood, because now if that brother starts to go off, what brother amongst them is going to tell that brother he's wrong?
Man, that's scary.
Nobody. So that's why the Most High said a real brother is for adversity, because he gonna know, no matter how much this brother look up to me and love me, no matter how much this brother look up to me and love me, and vice versa, them brothers gonna tell me, no, I'll keep wrong. I don't care how much I admire you.
Right.
I don't care how much I love you. You're wrong, huh? And I'm gonna have to take, and when all brothers do that, that will keep, that right there, that simple principle will keep sin down. If we keep it holy, if we all holy, that simple principle, because it says, where is it at? Verse 17, right? 17. A friend loveth at all times, because you cannot forget. Love is when you correct your brother, right? It says a friend loveth at all times, but at the same time, he's still born for adversity. I still love you, right? He still love me. We still love him. But we are born for that adversity, so that we don't be deceived by a wicked individual. Wicked individual come out, he know, oh, I can't last in there. Yeah. Them brothers ain't know, all of them is leaders. They ain't sheep. So I'm gonna have to be careful. I'm gonna go over here, because I can't get in this brother ear, and he just be the brother I need to get in his ear, and then that's it. Nah, because all these 5 brothers gonna stand up like, nah, you tripping, Rata. You tripping, and I love you, but you tripping. Okay, cool. But that's a good precept, man.
Man, get verse 4.
Verse 4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips.
A wicked, if you wicked, you gonna listen to these lies. Keep going.
And a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue.
A liar, he gonna give ear to a naughty tongue, a deceiving tongue.